Hello, friends. Ever consider we may be in a state of malnutrition? The lack of wholesome meals are major contributing factors towards disease and behaviors, just like oil and gas to a working vehicle. Not to mention lifestyle are very real considerations. After 20 plus years of listening, surveying, observations, and hosting retreats, I interacted with many patients and their families. I myself was a patient overcame 3 major health challenges. My experience and insights will help to equip you, my audience, to unpack and eliminate guessworks before you visit your doctors. Welcome to my show, Optimize Wellness and Maximize Life by way of 1 degree change. Hello, this is Dr. Mary again. Now this is episode 6, and I had previously talked about how important nutrition is to our body and the growth and sustaining even quality of social health, social behavior, from shoplifting to criminal that are in the rehabilitation facility. And one of the major things that I wanted to help parents, educators, and even government to know that food and nutrition are not another category when it comes to behavior of children and even elderlies. In fact, there are studies that talked about elderlies, when they are not well nourished, it's not just Alzheimer's or Parkinson. Some of them have different behaviors that come out, such as a temper tantrum from early signs of dementia and Alzheimer's. And many of them, we may laugh it off or think we could live with it, but sometimes just having malnutritioned body can lead to elderly shopliftings and driving, as well as behavior in apparent obnoxiousness or very impatient reactions. And I have a study here from Johns Hopkins University, is the science of Alzheimer's, how to treat them. And majority of the time, the medical community, they do so many double-blind studies with lab animals, creatures. But as far as a human, there really is not a definitive cure, although they talk about stem cells. And that's a big, big topic that I'm going to spend a bunch of episodes talking about. And unfortunately, the medical community just doesn't seem to put every essential endocrine system, nutrition, how the assimilation and absorption can affect a well-behaved, well-socialized body. And not only that, how do you handle decline without a diagnosis? And we're going to talk a lot about that. And one of my major recent involvement is with stem cells. And these are live blood cord stem cells, not harvested from fetuses or placental stem cell. So there are so many ways, and the medical community have done a very limited research. But stem cell is not something that is new. It's been around for many, many years. However, there are stem cells that are drawn from many different areas, from a person's bone marrow, from donated blood, and many of them have allergic reactions or unmatching. That's a whole different topic, and I will get into it. But That's something I'm very, very near and dear to my heart because I have had suffered from a major brain injury. And I have to say, my brain is working even better today than ever. And I'm thankful, extremely thankful, that there are going to be a lot of breakthroughs in understanding true quality stem cell and how it gets into our body and how we support it. And it is an exciting, exciting topic. Now, I want to share a little bit of commercial about my testimony of how I uh, receive healing, complete reversal when I had a serious brain concussion injury when the doctor said there's actually no hope. And in fact, they had kind of warned me that you will go old by just doing nothing, sit and try to self entertain, and don't be too ambitious. I didn't accept that sentencing. So here's about my testimony. Hi, Dr. Mary Axness here. At age 72, I finally retired. And guess what? I wrote a book. It's called Optimize Wellness and Maximize Life. And you know what? God healed me from 3 major medical challenges. One of them was a serious brain concussion injury over 10 years ago. And the doctor said there's nothing they can do other than just sit on the porch and rock. That didn't sit well with me at all. So I do what I knew best to do, eat myself back to health, plus co-labor with God, and did a lot of study and understand how to feed the brain well and recover. Now I can say, order this book. I'm going to have classes over this too. And come along and grow young with me. Retirement is just a new chapter. And now, I hope you get the book, Optimize Wellness and Maximize Life. In it, I explain 3 major healing testimonies that God has not only healed me, and because of what I study, what I research, how I feed my brain, I'm alive, healthy, growing stronger as I grow older. And again, retirement is a new chapter only. With that, there's one nutritious food I want to introduce today, and it's called the mighty mushrooms. Mushroom has a long history of healing, but when I was a child, all my mother was saying to me, eat mushroom, eat mushroom. Remember the book? Go order one. And I didn't really quite understand. There are different mushrooms. Some are edible and some are not. And some are very good for your health, nutrition, and wellness, and some are not. So I want to share a little bit of differentiation of different types of mushroom, why you should eat them, and to help suggest a little bit of ways how to cook them too. Now, again, back to naturopathic medicine is a very, very, very broad topic, is mainly about prevention in nature, and we attempt to restore health from a state of disease, and we do all we can to reverse the progress of a disease, to either slow it down or to stop it. And that means that we can interrupt the actual disease process. Try to wrap your head around this concept. Your body heals on its own priority. Not an easy thing to swallow for Western medicine. We have suppressed symptoms. By and large, it can work with generally healthy genes, healthy genetics, and good recovery by eating good food, establishing good healthy habits of exercise. Many people are willing to do that. However, attending to nutritional deficiency, what are we talking about? When each organ, like the liver, like your pancreas, like your thyroid, like your chest, your lungs, all those areas can be on a decline after a certain while. We are like a body full of what, 50 Swiss watches? And one watch takes a worksmith from the Swiss engineer to decipher what is needed. We're talking about 50 ongoing mechanisms, and it is amazing. This body is by design, and if we mess up the design, there will be deficiency. Then lastly, deal with toxic waste that cause nutrition and physical degeneration. When we discover there are degenerative process going on, such as the brain, such as a disease that has not been completely reversed, there will be deficiency. And the deficiency actually helps to decline. What do I mean by that? One disease, when it's not taken care of or properly healed, you introduce a medication that is synthetically produced, then you have chemicals, and the residue of it or the side effect of it can produce another disease. We call it comorbidity. And when you have multiple diseases that is happening in the body, that's when we have a chance of developing long-term, what we call autoimmune. That means your body's actually eating itself alive. And in my book, I did talk about some of the emotional contributing factor for people that do not get well. And it is hard to say. Like I said, everybody wants to feel good, right? We have three parts to our body: the soul, the mind, emotions, the physical body that you play, interact, uh, exercise, even get into fights, and then your heart. A lot of stuff happened hidden in the heart, and I gave it a name, and this isn't anything new, is what I call a divided heart. What do I mean by a divided heart? When you put in the information, it gets in there, but it doesn't go deep, that you will ingest it and recirculate, think through it, put some thoughts into it, how you can apply it. And once you apply and you are successful, it's in you. And once it's in you, no one can take it away. And you can apply that knowledge or wisdom. Otherwise, it's just sheer information. And so that's the reason why I want to produce this show called 1 Degree Change. I want to just get it into your mindset that is solidified. Nutrition is important and it can contribute to many areas of your life. And I see myself as a conduit that whatever it is, the wisdom, the knowledge, the applied knowledge, and it becomes enhanced knowledge so I can pass it on. And that's why I wrote the books, I wrote the program, the DVD, as well as some nutritional show about how the body acts and react when some nutrients are coming in. And when emotional nutrients, such as your relationship, mental nutrients, such as reading a piece of literature, writing a song, that is mental nutrition going into your system. And of course, physical nutrition. And one of the physical nutrition that is extremely exciting these days is called the mushrooms. You see the different kinds of mushroom I have here? And one of the uh, ingredients that really help the mushroom dishes become yummy is what? Ginger. And many people know about ginger. It's not just an Asian herb. It's a spice. It's a warming spice that helps the body circulate every day. Other than when it's really hot in the summer, I would cut up a piece of ginger this size, and it will last me 2 to 3 days. Take the skin off. I call this 1 inch. Slice it thinly, pound on it a little bit, and then steep it in water overnight. And the next morning, add a little pinch of salt, sea salt, or mineral salt, about 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. Now this is your 1 degree change, and drink it with warm water. And I want to hear your feedback within 3 to 6 months. If you can do that, especially in the wintertime, you'll notice your body feels warm. Especially if you go out and exercise a little bit, you'll sweat. Do you remember? I kept saying, if you can eat, poop, sleep, sweat, pee, swallow, you are healthy and you're a good specimen. And so all that, I want to delve into a little bit about eating edible mushrooms. Uh, well, we've got all these food from McDonald's to pizza to fried chicken. Those are food, but they are not equal nutritionally as a food source that would help. Now, I wanted to introduce you to some really yummy mushroom. These are called snow white, and you'll find this in noodle, um, soup noodle, or a stir fry. It just enhanced the body of a lot of the vegetable meals. And I do a lot of cooking. And so any type of home cooking is always better than packaged food. Then this one, it looks kind of crazy, dried, dehydrated. We call this wood ear mushroom. Of course, they grow on these big tree trunks. And once you soak it in water, it expands. And you just chop it up a little bit. You don't really have to cook it too much other than run it in hot water, um, steep it a little bit, soften it, and we put vinegar, a little bit of spice oil, garlic, ginger, and a little bit of scallion, green onion. It is so yummy. And so here's another wood ear. And there's many different uh, specimens within the same family of mushrooms. So then here is what you see almost every day in the supermarket. It's called portobello. And this is a baby portobello. And it came with like a stamp. And inside you can see this. It looks like umbrella sleeves. And right in here, it's kind of hard to clean. So how do you clean it? May I suggest vinegar water, if you get them, any kind of mushroom too. remove the stem. You can eat this. Soak it in vinegar, water. Ratio is 1 tablespoon of vinegar to about half a gallon of water and soak it. And if you soak it for half an hour to an hour, you can actually eat the mushroom raw, this type, the portobello or the white American button mushroom. And then we have morel mushroom. Morel mushroom, they are very strange looking, and I'll show you. You soak it and run it through hot water, rinse it through the cold, icy water, and then sauteed it. And sometimes you may have to boil it just a little bit to let it open up, and it can become 3 times the size of this. And this is from Peru. Many of the mushroom are harvested from cold weather. Even in my backyard, there's mushrooms. And then this is the shiitake, and this one is a dehydrated one, and it is a beautiful mushroom cap. The inside, you can remove it, the stem, and again, soak it, and it will expand to at least 2 to 3 size, this much. Then another one is very exciting. People are now able to learn to eat this. It's called the king trumpet or the king mushroom. And the umbrella cap is not very big, and you can see it. Still, you need to soak it in vinegar a little bit. How do you eat it? At the stem here at this end is extremely tough. So you kind of slice it off. One of this, you can grill this. Slice, sometimes long ways, sometimes just like this. You can grill it on butter. You can grill it with coconut oil or ghee. Ghee is one of the best layer of cow's fat. It's delicious. And you do not need to marinate mushrooms. All you need to do is stir fry it with vegetables or some meat dish, and also fatty meat. You can add different kinds of mushroom to fatty meat, like stew, and it will soak up the grease, and it will not be as greasy. And as a child, I asked my mom, why do I have to eat mushroom? The smell is quite pungent. And my mom's answer back then was, of course, simple to a child. She said, it cleaned up all the debris in your system. I said, what kind of debris? She said, like poisonous stuff? Candy that you shouldn't be eating and is stuck in your tummy, in your intestine? Mushroom is what we call internal cleanser. So it's very good for the body. But today, we now know we have mushroom therapies. Each type of mushroom tastes unique, and the way I call this is functional edible mushroom. It is one of the best high quality nutrient food that anyone can put in their body. Now, many of the vegetarians, they will use portobello mushrooms because they almost imitate meat because it's pretty substantial. Then oyster mushroom is full of fiber and mineral, including iron, zinc, potassium. Then there is another kind called reishi, which is a big umbrella cap. We are talking about they can grow up to the size of 8 inches wide. It's not an edible, but the Asian people will soak it and boil it and drink the broth. And it actually has, they said it supports the liver and increase metabolic and enzyme action in the body. you steep it, and also by do not eat the meat. You just literally put it back in and reboil with fresh water, clean water, and get another cup and another cup out of it until all the flavor is gone. Then there's lion's mane. Lion's mane mushroom is rather expensive. It's a shaggy looking fungi, and also lion's mane is very good for the brain. Now, I have been using lion's mane, but it is expensive, uh, and it tastes like seafood, and it helps regenerate and grow nerve system in the brain. So after that, there's also other mushroom that is not edible, and it is dangerous. That is if you go out to the backyard in the forest area and go hunt all these colorful mushrooms and think you can eat that. Beware, beware. And when you go to a restaurant, you can be safe to order what mushroom that they dish that they provide, because many cuisine created now to entice people to try mushrooms. And not everybody likes the flavor, but if you're willing and try each type of mushroom has a distinct flavor and it gives you special benefits. But the ones in your backyard, be very careful. Many of them are poisonous. And there are people that try to harvest them without a team that is somewhat knowledgeable. And then they try the mushroom by eating, deadly, and people can die from it. So, and they die very quickly too, because there is a specific allergen in poisonous mushroom that even I, or now there's a lot of people that think that they should go with a tour guide unless they're licensed and are very experienced, 10, 20, 30 years of experience. Even with that, they're careful what kind of mushroom they harvest out in the wild. And of course, wild is better, such as morel. Now, this particular mushroom, no one can make a mistake on it. And inside is hollow. And when you harvest them, they're still wet and they just look delicious. And cooking mushroom requires ginger, requires garlic, and a lot of grease. And it will be yummy. Then, as far as non-edible mushroom, there is a different type of mushroom that I want to bring awareness to everyone. It is called psychedelic mushroom. It does require a physician's prescription, and for some people with trauma, past trauma, and mental illness, I believe it's very helpful. But again, a little will go a long way, and with our prescription and a specific type of doctors that understand psychedelic mushroom, it can help a person's mental state. I've never tried it myself, but even that you have to be careful, because we have heard recently a pilot that took psychedelic mushroom because of anxiety and depression. Well, it backfired on him. He was piloting a plane and he went hallucinating. And this is not something, mushroom is something you have to be careful. There's only 8 to 10 types of mushroom that are readily available at the grocery store for your consumption. But otherwise, beware. Okay? Well, thank you for watching this episode about another chapter on um, delicious enzyme rich mushroom for nutrition and supporting brain and your vitality. And I just want to quickly close with our meditation, thankful for the last 24 hours. I could eat, sleep, poop, pee, and sweat and swallow. It's a good thing. We have a healthy body and we wake up refreshed every day because we have a happy attitude. Everything good comes from the up to the down and inside and out, and miracles of healing for every one of the audience here. Thank you, God. Amen. See you next episode, 8 o'clock Monday, Eastern Time. Thank you.